Hello, everybody. This is Maxine Taylor, America's first licensed astrologer since 1969. And I want to welcome you to my very first online full moon ceremony. As many of you know, because you've attended my full moon ceremonies, some of you from the beginning over 10 years ago, I do them at the Phoenix and Dragon bookstore here in Atlanta. Well, because of the coronavirus, the Phoenix and Dragon have temporarily paused all of their classes and gatherings, which includes my full moon ceremony, our full moon ceremony, I should say. Last month, we had 55 people in attendance. And so many of you have asked, will you please video this? And I've said that's not possible because I'm conducting the ceremony and nobody's going to want to stand there with a camera videoing the ceremony. They're going to want to be part of it. Long story short, the universe had other plans for all of us, right? So welcome. I'm so glad to welcome you to my home. And I'm going to incorporate as much of my full moon ceremony that I do in person, right here, online. And I'm also considering doing a new moon ceremony. Of course, on the dark of the moon, when I would be recording it, well, we have no energy. So I'm thinking about it. I know some of you would enjoy it very much. If I get caffeinated enough, I might be able to do that. So that's a possible. So the full moon is at 2:36 p.m. April 8th. That's Greenwich Mean Time. Here in the Eastern Time Zone, it's 10:36 p.m. on April 7th. And so what you want to do is convert my time zone to your time zone so that you can watch this at the time of, no matter where you are in the world. And I regard you all as people who've been attending my full moon ceremonies, my friends, and new friends around the world I have yet to meet. One small announcement, I'm offering a May special, because everybody needs their own forecast. It's on my website, MaxineTaylor.com. And that's the end of the cheap plug. Okay, let's first of all talk about where this full moon in 18 degrees of Libra, 18 degrees and 44 minutes, where this falls in your birth chart. And many of you have your birth chart. You got it right in front of you right now. I know it. So find 18 Libra 44. This is where the full moon is going to pop. And the beauty of the full moon is that wherever it lands in your birth chart, that's the area of life that comes alive. It bears fruit. Now you can actually, many of you I know because you're empathic, you can feel the tension building for the few days before the full moon. And on the full moon, it pops. It's really strong, I would say within 2 hours of going full. 2 hours before the full moon and 2 hours afterwards, okay? And then the moon starts waning for the next 2 weeks. And just before the new moon, 2 days before, we are in the dark of the moon. And you can tell we're in the dark of the moon because you can't see the moon in the heavens. It's so teeny tiny slivered. Well, it's not, it's just what we see of it, of course. On the new moon, everything starts growing again and moving forward. Now, many of you know, because I've done your forecast, or you've seen the United States forecast or your solar forecast on my YouTube channel, that Venus, the planet of love and money, is getting ready to go retrograde this month. And so the energy is a little wobbly during the month, okay? That's because there's more preparation going on. But today, we're talking about this marvelous full moon in 18 of Libra. So let me tell you where this falls in your solar chart. Aries, what is kicked into action is the area of partnership. And I don't mean necessarily just romantic partnership, but any of your relationships that have been on hold or pause, or if you've been trying to get some relationship going or resurrect one that hasn't been going, this full moon indicates that you should be able to do that. Because Mercury is not yet retrograde, which it will be, Venus is not yet in the shadow of the retrograde, which it will be. And so you can go ahead and reconnect with anybody who's been on hold in your life. Get out there and interact with them. Taurus, this is a wonderful time to focus on your health, on your job. Taurus is steady and sure. Slowly but surely gets the job done. Aries, which has already left the room because I finished talking about it, does it yesterday. On your mark, get set, go. Let's do it now. And wants to do it quickly and their way. Taurus is, let's just sit down and talk about it over dessert. And so when I look at your solar chart, I see that you're focused on your job and on improving your health. And this full moon indicates that those two areas, which are closely related, can become activated on this full moon. Don't you love it? Gemini, well, it's time to play, Gemini. It's time to enjoy yourself. It's time to have fun. And you can have fun, even if you're sheltered in place. You certainly can. It also, this full moon falls in your solar fifth house of creativity. And you can be incredibly creative, artistically, in any way, shape, manner, or form. It also means you sitting in front of the tube maybe and just enjoying yourself. This is the time to do that. If you have children, they're going to want your attention and you're going to want to give it to them. And it may very well be, if you have small children, that your social life is wrapped up in theirs. And so if you have not been making headway in that area, this full moon gives it a little jump start, or maybe a very large, explosive start. Cancerians, oh, you love your home and family. You are a nurturer, and you're very, very sensitive. You're very intuitive. If you have your sun, moon, or ascendant, or any planets in Cancer, even if you pride yourself on being a totally left-brained person, you are not. You are very, very sensitive to nuances, to everything. And your home and family are very important to you. And this is where the full moon in 18 of Libra falls, in the fourth house of home and family and real estate and all those things that provide emotional security. So it's time to nurture the ones you love, starting with you, yourself, okay? Great, grand, glorious Leo. That's how I have to introduce Leo. Great, grand, glorious Leo. your ideas are coming a mile a minute. You may be bored right now. You're going to want to communicate with people big time. You may want to get in the car for short trips. You got to do what you got to do, right? So do it. Are you writing a book? Are you doing a blog? Or are you just talking to people and enjoying the give and take of communication? Whatever it is, that is awesome for you for now. Virgo, this is a marvelous full moon for you because it activates your second solar house of money. And all the other signs are now turning and looking at Virgo. All the other signs are saying, I wish I were a Virgo. What this does is it helps you bring money issues to a head by activating those money issues. Traditionally, on the full moon, when it explodes, so to speak, you get what you want. And the second house is not just money, it's tangible assets, and it's the things that you can hold in your hand, that you can touch and you can see. And so your money, your finances, get a wonderful green light. That's all she wrote. Now, Libra, oh dear, beautiful, lovely Libra, you love balance and harmony. And this full moon is in your sign, in your solar first house. And so what you're saying is, I'm doing it my way. I'm doing what I want, when I want, how I want, because I want. Do you have a Libra ascendant? I don't know if I made it clear enough at this particular, well, I haven't even gotten there yet, but at my regular in-person full moon ceremonies, I remind people that if you have your ascendant in the same sign as the full moon, it is the same thing, has the same power as having the full moon on your sun. In other words, if you are a sun sign Libra or a rising sign Libra, this is you. You're saying my way or the highway. I have to do it my way. I have to do what I want because I want. And Libra, you normally put other people first. It's your turn now. Do it your way. Okay? The mantra, my way or the highway, is yours. Put it on. It empowers you. Scorpio, the most powerful sign in the zodiac. Scorpio is the sign of secrets. And this full moon is very interesting because it allows you to pull back, retreat, commune with the spirit world, with the other side, work behind the scenes, and just experience spiritual communion. This is where your energy is coming alive right now. And so you're going to want to be by yourself. Cool. Pull back, retreat. You enjoy your own company more right now than anybody else's. And if you can't be alone, your dreams may be very helpful. You may need more sleep even, because the desire to commune with the other side is so strong. Sagittarius, well, this full moon says get with your friends. Well, we all know about the 6-foot difference. We have to keep distance and difference. We have to keep when we go out into the world. But that doesn't mean that you can't be online with your friends. This is the time for groups and group activities for you. It's also a time when your humanitarian side comes alive. I love this. So you can have a lot of fun interacting with different meetup groups that now meet online. Capricorn. Well, Capricorn likes to be at the very top of the chart. Capricorn is the mountain goat that eats sparingly as it climbs the mountain. And when it gets to the top, the view is magnificent. Well, that is where this full moon falls in your solar chart. So be the leader. Be the one who's at the top. Claim your leadership role because it is activated. This could bring about a promotion, an advancement. You are now placed in a situation where you can have the opportunity to make that upward move. Grab it, Capricorn. Aquarius. Well, you know, if you're an Aquarian, you ask yourself all the time, am I crazy or is the world crazy? I got a flash for you. It ain't you. Look around. People are nuts right now. And, you know, it starts at the top in every single country. And that is why we need the Aquarian humanitarianism. This particular full moon falls in your 9th house of your solar chart, which is the far horizon, long distance communication, correspondence, and transportation. You are a visionary. You always see the big picture. And that's why when you talk to people, they may not understand what you're saying because you can see the far horizon. And that is exactly what this full moon triggers. I love it, don't you? And last but not least, lovely Pisces. This particular full moon falls in your 8th house of secrets, mundanely, other people's money, joint finances, spiritually, transformation, transmutation, and magic. Primarily, we think of the 8th house as secrets, and you're going to want your secrets kept to you. This particular full moon, though, because it's in your 8th house of secrets, makes you a psychic detective, and you are going to look beneath the surface at what is really going on, rather than on the surface at the symptoms. This is also a time of personal transformation for you. And my suggestion is that you use this full moon to take the next step in your spiritual journey. Allow yourself to be totally transformed by the love of the universe and step forward into a new you. So these are the solar chart placements. When at this point, when I do my full moon ceremony in person, we take the lists that we have brought with us and we burn them to release them to the multiverse so that Source, Spirit, God can deliver to us what we want. And as I go through this full moon ceremony, we have a couple of steps that I'm going to share with you that will help you do that. And so I usually have a fire starter because some of you know I just don't do fire. So what I would suggest that you do is get a glass bowl. I have filled it with earth so that we will have fire, earth, we have air all around us, and of course, water. And what I'm going to do, this should be interesting. Yay, it lit. Oh my goodness, on the first try. Oh, this is awesome. And what I'm going to suggest that you do is make a list of what you would like to create for yourself. Look at here. I lit a fire and it's burning. And I'm doing it indoors. And the fire, as it is burning, is cleansing and healing and releasing to the multiverse the things that I am asking the universe, the multiverse, to bring to me. And every month I do this. And if you can imagine 45, 50, 55 people with their lists coming up to this big flower pot that I have and burning their lists. You know what the full moon ceremony is like. So what I would suggest that you do is do this with someone you love. Or if you choose to, at the time of the full moon, you've got a 2-hour block of time just before, 2 hours before, as I said, the full moon, and 2 hours afterwards to experience it. And so fire, earth is in the bowl, air, and there's a little pond on the deck of the Phoenix and Dragon. I don't have a little pond here, I have a stream out back, but I do have water. And I release my list to source energy, to spirit, to God. And I thank source energy, the multiverse, God, spirit, for bringing it to me. Because I know that what I release is going to come to me. I don't know when, but as long as I am excited about the fact that that list has been released to source, the source of all love, the source of all goodness, the source of all life and healing and abundance, I know it's going to return to me. Now, the next part of the ceremony. Now you have to picture between 45 and, well, on a full moon, we have about 45 to 55. On an eclipse, I can have as many as 80 people on this very small patio with the Phoenix and Dragon. A word of my ceremony has spread, and it's always interesting to see what size crowd I'll have. And did you know that you're part of it? Do you know that the people who have been in attendance have called out the names of their loved ones and invited them to be part of the ceremony? Some of you have asked me to include your name. Some people come with lists from their friends and burn them at the ceremony. You may have been part of this ceremony without even knowing it. And of course, if you're watching it now, as I said, welcome, dear friend. And please feel free to share this, of course. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is absolutely magical. I love doing this part of the ceremony. And I have not shared this publicly before. So here's what I do with all of these beautiful people, because by the time the ceremony is over, everybody is in love with themselves and feels one with the group, because we are one. Whatever happens to you affects everybody. We feel everything. We are one. across the globe. It doesn't matter where you live, what your politics are, your nationality, your race, your religion. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is love. Love is the universal antidote. And every month, we send out love. We become love as a result of what I'm going to share with you now. Now, by this time, many people at the ceremony, and perhaps you, are already in a state of love because that's just how you are. But if for any reason there has been a disturbance now preventing you from feeling that you're one with the group, this is what we do, and this is what I'm going to suggest you do. Right now, in order to create, you create from a state of love, a place of love. So all you do is put your hand over your heart. Simple enough. And this brings you an awareness of your heart. And the heart represents love. And so now, are you getting chills? Are you more peaceful? Have you moved into your own loving space? I do hope so. Because it's heaven. Now, our world is crazy right now. And what I want to do with everybody I meet, that means you, is empower you to empower yourself, which is why I'm sharing this video with you. Now that you're in a loving space, what I'm going to ask that you do, or what you're going to want to do, because it's so amazing, it's so wonderful. The question is, what do you want more than anything in the world? What would make your heart sing? What is the one thing above all else that you want? Don't think about it, just extend your right hand and ask God, Spirit, Source, Energy, whatever your concept of God is, that's what I'm talking about. Ask Spirit to put that in your right hand, to show it to you. And if it's what you really, really, really want, you may cry. You will feel it. You may get excited. You'll know what it is for you for now. And now, without any thought, in your left hand, ask God to show you what is your block. Boom, it should be there in like 2 seconds. What is blocking you from having what's in your right hand? Is it a person? Is it a relationship? Is it money? Is it health? Whatever it is. If what is revealed to you is one thing, and then that is followed by another reason why you can't have this, let that show up too. And when you are ready, you're going to take this thing, this block that is keeping you from having what you want, what you asked for in a state of love. This is what is keeping you from it. And so you're going to take that and toss it, literally toss it out to the multiverse. Give it to God, give it to Source. Give it to whatever your concept of God is and let it go. It's just part of your story. That's all it is. It is our story, our belief system that creates the block. It's also our new spiritual belief system that brings us what we want. And so what you're left with is what you want. It's your heart's desire. So if you would like to, place your hand on your heart, and I'm going to carry you through what I do in my full moon ceremonies. First of all, and I'm listening to see the order in which my guides want me to do this, so just bear with me, okay? They want me to explain it first. Okay. Go back to the time when you were born. Literally, your birth. And when you were born, you were a blank slate of love. You were pure spirit. And as you moved into childhood, the people around you programmed you. And most of us lost touch with the truth of who we really are. Well, it's not too late to reignite and reconnect with that beautiful, pure love that you were then. And the way we're going to do it is, and I'm going to talk you through it, I'm going to carry you back to that time in just a split second. And what you're going to do, and I'll give you the step, is you are going to say, I'm going to say I, and you are going to follow that by saying I, followed by your entire full given name, the name you were given when you were born. So it could be Robert, John, Stephen, Edwards, Jr., the third. If that is your given name, that's what you call back to you, that name. This is part of your identity. And I'm going to give you a series of acceptances that will set you back on that path. And when you accept something, you accept it and receive it from God. And it pours down from the top of your head through every cell in your body and out the soles of your feet. So here's how it will be. I, followed by your full name at birth, totally accept. And I'm going to give you the acceptances one right after the other, right after the other. And just repeat them after me. And the final acceptance is I take back my life. Are you ready? I am. Okay. At the count of 3, your entire full name at birth. I, 1, 2, 3. Totally accept that I am in charge of my life. I totally accept that I am responsible to be happy. That's all you got to be, is happy. I totally accept that I am God's child. I totally accept that I am a child of the universe. I totally accept that I am the I am. I totally accept that I create my life my way. I totally accept that I rely on the God within me, the source energy that resides within me. I totally accept that I express my God self all the time. And I listen to my God self. And I accept that I'm free to have fun. No matter what's going on, I'm free to be happy. And I take back my heart, my soul, my honor, my mind, my body, my identity. I take back my life. Let that pour down through every single cell of your body. Feel your body come alive and tingle with a profound experience of joy and peace and love. And at this point in the ceremony, what I do is go around the circle and I read everybody and give them a mantra. So if I've got 55 people, I read 55 people, like that. And I give them a mantra, which we all accept, because we are one. And this is what they have brought to the circle with them. Well, it's just me and you. So I'm going to give you a blessing. May you be your highest and best. May you express your light, and in so doing, light your world and the people around you. And as always, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now, dear friends.